Hi, we're with Andreas Henschke representing Engineers Without Borders Australia from Oricon. We have a couple of questions for him today.
Sure.
So in your paper, it largely revolves around the use of human-centered design in Cambodia. So can you tell us a little bit about human-centered design?
Yeah, sure. So human-centered design is a principle that was, I guess, well documented by an international development organisation called IDEO, and they're some of the design principles that Engineers Without Borders uses in terms of being able to get to appropriate solutions and bringing the community or the client along the way in the process so that they have ownership of the solution. It's a 6-stage process. In the paper that I wrote, we kind of focus on 3 core elements, but it's all about kind of going back to the client, understanding, their viewpoint and how you can engage with them, continuing that repeating process of going back and asking questions, why, that kind of stuff.
What is an empathy map and how much value did it provide to your project?
Yeah, cool. So an empathy map essentially is a tool that we also use throughout the human-centered design process to, I guess, unpack some of the things that we go through on the empathise stage, which is stage 2 of the human-centered design process. So that's all about going and asking questions and kind of understanding the context and way in which people live and go about their days. Some of the things that really mean a lot to them. Big risks for their lives or big opportunities coming up, and some of the jobs they have, and that all feeds into the empathy map. So the empathy map's a wheel with those 3 points. Yeah. It helps you kind of understand and unpack those bigger questions and kind of narrow down to a solution.
When you go out overseas and you're assisting Cambodians, for example, do you notice any skepticism or reluctance from locals who may think differently as to how you're doing things?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think one really good thing that we had in the program that I did overseas was that we had a really good supportive community partner, and so they did a lot of groundwork and working with the communities to really build a relationship. So when we went into the communities there, they really kind of were accepting of who we were and what we were trying to do because we built that trust. But I've seen in kind of some other scenarios where in developing context, an organisation might have gone in and they've begun to build toilets for sanitation, and they might build a toilet somewhere and no one might want to use it because they don't know how it works. So it's all about bringing people along the journey and getting them to understand what you're trying to do.
Thank you, Andreas. Thank you so much for your time today, this afternoon.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.